Well, good morning. Happy Monday, April 3rd. Are you ready for a real estate market update? Well, hello again. Hope you're doing well. Monday, April 3rd. We're entering the peak of what should be the spring market for real estate here in the Chicagoland area. So, what I want to cover today is go over some data that has just come up a couple days ago. And this reflects what's happening at this moment. Also, in a little while, we're also going to bring on mortgage lender Michael Gambatis with Proper Rate to talk about what's going on with the mortgage industry and what the current rate status is. So that's a very important topic in the real estate market today. Of course, the higher the interest rates go, the less affordable homes become for buyers. So this is a very important topic, and so looking forward to his data and his insights. So one thing I'd like to start talking about is good way to see the reflection of what's going on is to take a look at a very recent snapshot, which is how many homes have gone under contract within the last couple weeks, and how many new homes have entered the market. So let's start with Downers Grove and bring it up. Here we go. So what we have here is my eyesight, right? 26 homes that have gone under contract in the last 14 days in Downers Grove. New is 11. So, there you go. There's what we've been seeing so far all year is there's just a shortage of inventory. So there's more homes going under contract. There are homes on the market, but if the new homes doesn't start increasing, well, we're going to run out of available homes for the buyers out there. Let's take a look at another town. Let's take a look at Lombard. Same thing. 28 homes went under contract last 14 days, and only 7 new homes entered entered the market. Naperville, so 49 homes went under contract and 22 homes entered the market. So same as the other towns. Let's take a look at Darien. 9 homes went under contract last 14 days. Only 3 new homes came on the market in Darien. The last one I want to share is Westmont. So Westmont only had 4 homes going under contract, and they had 4 homes entering the market. Now, a reason why there's only so many homes, only few homes that went under contract is there just aren't enough homes in Westmont right now currently on the market. And if this rate continues, that trend continues in Downers Grove, Darien, Lombard, Naperville, this is what we're eventually going to see in those towns as well. So if you're a seller right now, I can't tell anybody what to do. It's a very big financial step, whether you're buying or selling a home. It's an important decision, a life decision. But if you're a seller considering selling, boy, this is a great opportunity. Because there are buyers out there. Even though the interest rates are a little bit higher, the buyers are out there and willing to buy. However, they're a little bit pickier than they were a year and a half ago. When interest rates were about 3%, you could literally put a home on the market that needed updates, needed repair, and it would sell for the asking price, if not more. Today, that's changed a little bit because higher interest rates, monthly payments have increased. So the buyers are a little bit pickier. They're looking for the homes that are move-in ready, have been updated, or are really great condition. Or what they'll do is just wait for the homes that do need some attention to come down in price before they're interested in that. Something else. So let's take a look at some live data, and let me share my screen here with you. Here we go. All right, so this is Downers Grove, and what we have here is the median sales price of all homes, detached, single-family homes, and attached, meaning townhomes and condos. As you can see, the median sales price has remained flat all the way since September, even with the higher interest rates. Now, let's take a look at just detached family homes in general. So, single detached family homes doing well, a little bit dropped from last month, about 1,500. So, holding its own here in Downers Grove. What's doing really well, let's pull this up, is attached. We had a little bit dip in October of last year, but it's been increasing overall. So that's townhomes and condos. So my perspective on that is uh, the majority of the people, the sellers that I've been working with right now, are the ones that are looking to downsize. So they have enough equity in their home, or they have their home paid off, and they're looking for an easier lifestyle. And that's why the townhomes and condos are doing well. And when I looked at other towns in the area, I noticed that that is the same thing going on in towns like Naperville, Darien, Clarendon Hills, and so forth. Um, what we want to take a look at is new listings, condos, new listings. As you can see, it's going downhill for as far as new listings. We need more detached single homes. Same thing, month over month. It has been decreasing, and so every month there's less homes available for the buyers that are out there. Now, what I find interesting though is month supply. So, month supply currently is at 1.8 months. I'm going to explain this in a second. And it's up from a month ago, which is 1.7. So, that's about 8%. So, what that's telling me, so month supply, let's just kind of summarize what that means. A balanced market is about 4 to 6 months of inventory. So, month supply means that if nothing changes, we take a snapshot of the amount of buyers that are currently out there and the amount of homes that are currently out there. Nothing else changes. This is how long it would take to sell off those existing homes. So, what we're seeing is that is slowly increasing, even though the amount of new homes coming to market is decreasing. So again, this goes back to the point I had before, that buyers are just becoming a little bit pickier because of the higher interest rates and the higher monthly payments. So let's take a look into Naperville. And we'll go start with the median sales price. Again, Naperville, detached single family homes holding steady at an average sales price of 600,000. Condos and townhomes are also holding steady at about boy, look, it's about 275,000. And let's take a look at single family homes, new listings. Same thing as Downers Grove, right? The amount of homes available has been decreasing month over month since 2020. So for almost 3 years, month supply has been holding steady at 1.4 months in Naperville. So let's continue on. Let's check out, let's take a look at Westmont. Median sales price for detached single family homes has had a little bit of dip since January. In January, it was about average of 390 per home, and in March, it went down $10,000. New listings, same thing. It's been dipping, not as strong as, let's say, Downers Grove and Naperville, but definitely gone down. Month supply of inventory has been staying steady for the last 3 months at 1.6 months. Let's take a look at one more town. Let's take a look at Lombard. And if you have any questions on the town that you live in, post a comment and I will look that up for you. So Lombard, median sales price been holding steady, for detached single-family homes at $349,950. Condos and townhomes, same things, holding steady. A little dip since a month ago, about $1,250. So holding steady. Let's take a look at new listings in Lombard. There you go. This is what we're seeing, you know, in all the towns in the Chicagoland area. Is the amount of homes, available homes, have been going down, and month supply is has been decreasing in Westmont and Lombard, I'm sorry, as well. So good time to sell a home if you live in Lombard. So a lot of what has been going on is tied into the interest rates, not only for the buyers, but for the sellers as well. A lot of homeowners currently are holding on to interest rates around 3%. So either they bought a home in the last 3 to 5 years, or they been living in a home and they refinance. So they're holding on to 3% interest rates. So if they have to move to another home and take on a new mortgage, that really changes what their monthly payment is going to be. And so I think a lot of homeowners are kind of waiting to see what happens with the interest rates. And so since we're on the topic of interest rates, I'd like to bring on Michael Gambatese with Proper Rate to talk about what's going on with the mortgage industry. Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Slav?
And for some reason, I have, can you hear me okay, Mike? Because I've lost. Okay, well, we're just going to go with that. For some reason, I'm not hearing you. Let me adjust the volume. Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So, Mike, tell us what's going on with the interest rates. So currently, I heard a couple days ago the interest rates were at 3%. Was that a lie? Was that April Fool's joke?
That could have been an April Fool's joke, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
So
the good news is that interest rates did come down a little bit. So as we anticipated, the Fed last week did raise short-term rates by 1/4 point, which most people think then that means the 30-year fix actually goes up as well, which is kind of a common misconception. The Fed raising rates mostly impacts short-term rates. So for example, if you have a home equity line of credit or something like that that's tied to the prime rate, that'll go up immediately. But long-term rates actually went down middle of the week to the tail end of last week. So now on a 30-year fixed under the right parameters, we can get down as low as around 6.35%, which you and I have talked about in the past. Is pretty darn good considering we got above 7% at one point. So obviously there are variables. Maybe condominiums with less than 25% down, interest rates might be a little bit higher, or somebody with less than perfect credit scores with less money down, their interest rate's going to be impacted by that. But under the right circumstances, we're hovering below, a little bit below 6.5%.
yeah, wonderful. And I know the buyers I'm working with, they're very excited about that because it was not that long ago. I think March 1st, we were at around 7%. And there was a lot of, I know with my clients, a little worried, were they going to go any higher, right? Because that really, from 6.3 to 7%, that makes a significant change on their monthly payment, depending on the price of the home they're looking at, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And that's the reason why I focus a lot with my clients on the payment. Let's talk about the payment, because interest rates are going to do what they're going to do, and we have zero control over that.
Sure.
But what you do have control over, for the most part, is how much you want to spend per month on a housing payment, right?
Right.
So especially for first-time home buyers that have never done it before and are just used to potentially what their rent is and then managing their expenses around that. That's where we start. Is what is your threshold per month that you wish not to exceed? Because more than likely what's going to happen is you're going to qualify for more of a housing payment than you want, right? So we center around the payment, and that's really what has been most important lately, given the fact that interest rates have been a little bit of a roller coaster ride. So that's what I think it's important to stress to your clients is just when they're talking to their lender is really make sure that they're comfortable with whatever that payment is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've had a discussion about this before. So as I was going through the market updates, it keeps showing the amount of available homes keep dropping month over month
Mhm.
for the buyers that are out there. There are buyers looking to buy a home. They are a little bit pickier. They're looking for something that's more move-in ready for that money. However, we're still seeing multiple offer situations where many of us thought it would come to an end this year, and it has
Mhm.
not. So I tell my clients we have to be ready to present the strongest offer, which not always means the highest price, but the least amount of risk for the seller, right? Because sellers, when they accept an offer, there's a risk that it doesn't go through. And so tell me again, what you do with your clients as far as preparing them and, having their offer stronger than perhaps somebody else.
Yeah, and that's a great question. And I think now is more than ever, it's so important to be working with experts like you and I to make sure that the buyers are putting their best foot forward. So pretty much with every single buyer that falls within a conforming loan, meaning up to $726,200, what I'm doing with them right now is discussing with them right from the first call what we can do to prepare them to be in the best possible position that when they do make an offer on a home, it's the strongest offer possible. And like you said, it's not always the highest price. So what do? We talk about the terms. We talk about getting your rate locked in. And I know we've talked about this before, but we can lock in an interest rate up to 90 days without a property address at no additional cost. And that's great to do right now while interest rates have come down a little bit. Let's take advantage of that, because more than likely what's going to happen is as interest rates go up, we want to insulate you from any further rate increases, right? So
Sure.
we lock in the rate, and I make sure that I gather all their documentation right off the bat: pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, potentially tax returns if someone is commissioned or bonused or self-employed, and getting all that documentation right away, doing an initial underwrite on the loan myself, and then also having an actual underwriter review all the documents and actually issue a mortgage approval. Okay. And that mortgage approval is rock solid. And all it's going to do is going to put the buyer's best foot forward so that when they make that offer, I could actually say to the listing agent, I've already done the underwrite. The rate's already locked. I can close in 2 weeks. So the goal is to have the buyer ready to go pending contract, appraisal, and title work. And as you know, in the Chicagoland area, state of Illinois, the seller is the one that orders the title anyhow. So we have to wait on that anyhow.
Mhm.
So, if somebody goes under contract and I've already done all those things and all I'm really waiting on is for me to do the appraisal, we can close in 8 business days.
See that this is so important because when you're presenting an offer in your multiple offer situation, there's always a chance that you're up against a cash offer. And if you have all of that work done ahead of time and the mortgage is approved, it takes really a lot of the worry away from the sellers rather than compared to somebody that's just been pre-qualified, right?
Mhm.
And I've been in a lot of situations where we've seen buyers that are pre-qualified and then all of a sudden they're missing a lot of documentation and we're scrambling wondering if that deal is going to go through. And
Mhm.
so again, for buyers out there, it's a combination of price, but terms and how solid your offer is, how confident the sellers are that this is going to go to the closing table without any stress on their part. So I mean, really important what you guys are doing at Proper Rate. So we really truly appreciate that, helping our buyers have the strongest offer.
Mhm.
So question, what are you hearing about mortgage rates in the future?
Well, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac haven't really come out lately with everything going on with all the bank collapses and everything like that. They kind of have their hands full, but they haven't made a whole lot of predictions, at least in the last, I would say, 30 days or so. The last true prediction was that rates will be somewhere between 5.5% and 6% by year's end. So that's the latest data that we have. With the recent drop in interest rates, we are getting closer to that benchmark. So I think we could get down to 6%. Now, if we end up getting in the fives, that would be a great bonus. I'm not holding my breath. But these lower interest rates definitely spur mortgage applications are up. Even in the last 72 hours, mortgage applications are up 27%. And the reason for that is because when people hear even a little bit of a dip in interest rates, it gets them back in the market, gets them re-engaged, which hopefully helps you and hopefully helps real estate agents out there sell homes, because that's really what it's going to take, is not only for inventory to loosen up a little bit too, but for buyers to get comfortable being back out in the market. And we have seen a significant uptick in applications in the last couple of weeks because of that, and that's a really good sign for us.
Yeah, that is a fantastic sign, and that's so important, right? Interest rates come down a little bit. Monthly payment on the for homes comes down because right now everything else is going up. So every little bit that a buyer can
Mhm.
save is very crucial, for them. So any parting thoughts as far as what are you optimistic about the real estate industry and the mortgage industry as far as moving forward? Are you moving forward with caution? What's your gut feeling?
Well, having lived through 07, 08, 09 in this business, I feel like that was the worst it ever got. And that was a completely different market than where we are right now. So I'm definitely optimistic about where we are now and where we're going to be. And in the area that you and I predominantly do business was this, which is the Chicagoland area. The housing market is always strong, and housing prices typically go up in this area, right? So
Mhm.
real estate is still a very good investment. Okay, and so I'm definitely optimistic, and I feel that if as long as interest rates stay in this kind of half a point range from where we are right now, I think that'll help. But yeah, I think it's going to be a strong, like you mentioned at the top, this is the time typically where we're at the height of the spring market, right? And
Right.
I'm already seeing the activity that is indicative of that. So that it's definitely a good sign for me.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that as the weather warms up, winter has kind of been hanging on this year in the
Yeah.
Chicagoland area. The people become more active and getting back to normal and wanting to get out, wanting to find that home. They get spring fever, right? And part of spring
Mhm.
fever is finding that new place to live. And I agree with you. I think a lot of people always. You know, owning a home is a very important part of many people's lives, and there'll always be a need for buying and selling homes. And Downers Grove, I mean, one of the reasons I love living here is people. I mean, it's a great town, and you have the great access to the downtown area with the train line,
Yep.
and great access to interstates. And that's one of the reasons why home values here have been remaining strong even when interest rates went up at 7% or higher. So
Mhm.
I think Downers Grove will always remain a great place to move to and a solid investment. So Mike, I really appreciate you joining me today and sharing what's going on in the mortgage industry. And why don't you, before you leave, tell people how they could contact you.
Sure. And thank you, Slav, as always. My email address is my first initial and then my last name at properrate.com. So M Gambatis at properrate, PROPER rate.com. Cell phone number is probably the best way to reach me, which is 773-220-8859.
All right, fantastic. So if you
Yeah.
need a loan, buy a house, make sure you contact Michael Gambatis. All right, thanks a lot
Thanks,
again,
Slav.
Mike, and we'll
Appreciate
talk
it.
soon. All right, so that ends our live broadcast today. So, speaking of multiple offer situations, one of the guests that I want to bring up in one of the upcoming shows is an attorney, a real estate attorney. And why do I want to do that? Especially right now, with the amount of multiple offers that we are seeing, they are the ones that receive the winning contract, right? To review. And so, besides price, besides maybe the type of loan people are getting, whether it's a loan or cash, I'd like to see hear from them about what other terms buyers are presenting to make their offers a winning one. Wouldn't that be interesting to know, especially if you're a home buyer right now? So that is it. Oh, but if you have any questions about buying or selling, or if you want to know any information about the town that you live in, contact me. Number 630-624-9615. And look forward to helping you with your buying and selling needs. Have a fantastic day.